on this platform. I'm doing it a little bit different today than I normally do. I didn't do StreamYard today. So I just want to have a little conversation with the ladies. Let's go to Romans 7, verse 15. I don't understand why I act the way that I do. I don't do the good that I want to do, and I do the evil I hate. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading and the hearing of His holy word. And I want to get into a topic today. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk free? Well, this is a saying that I received from my mom years ago. And since then I've used it and given it to my daughters. And it is a very thought-provoking saying that really gets deep into your spirit. It suggests that it's unnecessary to commit to something such as marriage when you can get the benefits like having sex without commitment. It is often used in the context of relationships, implying that if someone is already receiving the desired benefits without commitment, then they have no incentive to commit. So let's look at it a little further, okay? When we say buying the cow, what are you talking about? Well, buying the cow represents the long-term commitment, like marriage. But when you say getting the milk, that represents the benefits or the intimacy that comes with the relationship. And when we say free milk, what are you talking about then? When we say free milk, it implies that the benefits are available to you without the commitment to buy the cow. In other words, this phrase that we're saying, why buy the cow when I can get the milk for free, it highlights a perceived economic rationality. Why pay more for something when you can get the same thing for less or free? In the context of relationships, this can translate to a man not wanting to commit to a woman if he's already experiencing the intimacy and the other benefits of the relationship without commitment. In other words, this phrase is often used as a warning to women to be cautious about excuse me, to be cautious about giving too much too soon in a relationship, as it might discourage the other person or make the other person be sloppy and lazy for making a commitment to you. There you go. Why buy the cow when I can get the milk for free? So let's go back to Romans 7, verse 15. And let's break that down, okay? In Romans 7, verse 15, it describes a believer's struggle with sin, highlighting the conflict between their desire to do good and their inability to consistently avoid sinful actions. Romans 7 verse 15 expresses the experience of doing what one hates while also desiring to do what is good. This verse is interpreted as Paul describing the ongoing battle between the spiritual desires and the pulling of the sinful nature. It introduces the idea of internal struggle. You're struggling from the inside. Paul is speaking from his own experience, admitting that he doesn't always understand or control his actions. He finds himself doing what he hates while wanting to do the good things that he knows is right. We all struggle with that. That's just human nature. The I in sin suggests that the struggle is not simply a matter of external behavior, but it involves an internal conflict. While Paul desires to follow God's law, his sinful nature, meaning his flesh, pulls him towards sin. When we talk about the law and sin, Paul himself acknowledges the goodness of God's law. However, he recognizes that his sinful nature prevents him from perfectly obeying it. This highlights the difference between the spiritual law and the limitations of the human body. And then when we go beyond the external actions, in Romans 7 verse 15, isn't just about outward actions. It also talks about, it goes into the internal struggle that we have. Who wants to please God, but struggles with the stuff that we have going on in our thoughts, in our desires, in our tendencies. It points to a deeper reality of the human condition and the ongoing battle against the things that we want to do that we know we shouldn't do. And the need for grace. We have to offer ourselves grace. Romans 7 points to the need for God's grace and God's forgiveness. While we are believers striving for holiness to keep ourselves clean, they will inevitably fall short because we die daily. God's grace is essential for our salvation and ongoing spiritual growth. So we have to do this thing on a daily basis. And we die daily. And as we fall down, we can get back up. And not just get back up, but get back into position. Well, that is my message for you today. May you be a blessing to yourself and well as to others. Take care.